Hello, and welcome to another edition of Coffee Talk with immigration attorney Brian D. Lerner. In this particular episode, I'd like to talk to you athletes, people who are physically really good at doing something athletic. And I've had people come into my office and, they've heard about the O visa, the one for extraordinary alien petitions. And, when I tell them what's required to get the O for, being, for example, the best, weightlifter, the best golf coach, or the best soccer player, it's not just the best in your local town or even in your country. It's being one of the best around the world. And that is a very tough burden in which to meet. And so I start asking, some other questions that might be applicable and see if possibly they qualify for a P1 visa. Now, P1, while not easy to get, is in many cases much easier to get than the O1. And if you're an athlete, and you meet those qualifications, then that's what you need to fall under. So in general, a person who performs as an athlete, it could be either individually or as part of a group or a team, then you yourself might be able to come in on the P visa. Now, if you're part of a group or a team, of course, it has to be internationally recognized, and that also applies if you come in on an individual. So the question is, what's easier about the O, where your extraordinary ability, versus the P, which has to be international recognition? Well, the burden of proof that you have to show on the P is considerably less. Okay, I mean, that's just the fact, that's just the reality of how it is. So assuming that you have been filled for at least a year, the P will allow people who are amateurs to apply. That you're in some kind of bodybuilding or weightlifting competitions, but you're not professional. You're amateur. But let's say that amateurs from all over come in order to help you, in order for you to compete. And let's say you're doing very well. Well, you would be able to apply for the P visa as an amateur. You get the normal things that we put with all the P petitions, the letters of recommendation, the articles, who you were associated with, who competes in the particular tournaments, what countries they come from, what your background is, what you might have won in the past, and so forth. And so the the P visa, again, while not easy, and while there are burdens you have to get over, you probably have a better chance. Now, what does international recognition mean? Well, the definition under immigration law is that internationally recognized means a high level of achievement, evidenced by a degree of skill and recognition above that ordinarily encountered. Okay, to the extent that the achievement is renowned, leading, or well known in more than one country. Well, you can put a lot of interpretation as to what that means. I mean, it certainly doesn't mean you have to have, been listed as the number one athlete on planet Earth, that for sure. So there are lots of good ways, if you have a good attorney that can make a creative argument that can show international recognition of what it is that you do. Okay. Now, in order to be able to come in, you're going to need to have either a company that's going to petition you, or you're going to have an agent. Okay. Now, the thing about the company is, if you have a company petition you for the P visa, that means that you're going to have to work basically just for that company and just for that location. And a lot of times with P visas, you're going to have competitions all over the United States. And so if you can find an agent, that would probably be the better way to go. Okay, that would probably be the more productive way, because if the agent is in the business of doing this type of stuff where basically the agent can get you booked at event after event after event, then if the agent is the petitioner, then you're not bound to just one location. You can go all over. Now, the nice thing about the P visa is they can actually issue a P visa for 5 years. And compared to most non immigrant visas, that is a bit longer. It's quite a bit longer. And then you can even renew it again another 5 years. And another good thing about the P visa, the P1, is that you have to you don't have to prove your intent is non-immigrant. You can have dual intent. Okay, that means, basically you can apply for the green card on one hand and you can apply for the P visa on the other hand, both exactly at the same time, and they cannot deny the visa because they think you have an intent, to stay here in the U.S. and get the green card, which for most other non-immigrant visas is a considerable issue. So, with get this, the agent, realize the length of time you can stay here, realize the non-intent, the dual intent issues, and you'll be on your way. Now, the basic documentation that you need to show, that you, the athlete or the team, is internationally recognized, and that the athletic competition has a distinguished reputation, and that the competition requires participation of an athlete or team with an international reputation. Um, if it is a with a U.S. sports league, of course, you need to have the contract, that they have entered into. Basically, when I do the P visas, if you're going to have a 5-year P visa with venues all over the U.S., I need to have contracts essentially for all of those venues so that they know it's for real, that they know it's booked, that they know you're really intending on coming in. You need to show different things. Okay, for example, any two of the following items can be shown, and this helps with your international reputation. You want to show significant participation in prior season, international competition with the national team, and again, you only have to show two of these. The that significant participation in a prior season college or university competition. You could get a written statement from a U.S. official in sport about the team's international recognition or your international recognition, or you could get a written statement from an expert or sports media as to the international recognition. Look at the team or individual ranking, and you could get a significant honor or awards that has been given. So, basically, the uh, the type of way that you prepare the P visa is not exact, like most things in immigration. In every case, every case is different. So if you think that you might qualify for this type of visa, then go ahead, give me a call. I'll give you a free consultation, let you know what it's about, the cost, and all that. If you like the video, click like and subscribe, and we'll be on next week's. Goodbye.